All right, guys, we are working from inside the closed guard. We're going to talk about today, we're going to review breaking the closed guard. We're going to go into a knee slice and a back step pass. We'll talk about some of the options from there, some of the things that work and don't work, some of the things Coach Mark and I have seen in the last couple days, including Mark's class this morning, of people kind of trying to modify Mark's technique and what the issues are with it. Just because it works on someone doesn't mean it works, right? Like, the reason Mark and I teach things the way we do is we've gone really deep in them. And sometimes even stuff Mark and I have been doing for years, we figure out a modification to or something else. If you have a question, ask. There's a reason we do everything and a reason we don't. And sometimes that reason is, for say me, I have no hip mobility, right? So there's techniques that Mark can do that I can't do, right? So I'll try to tell you, hey, if you have hip mobility, you can do this here. You know, Mark and I were playing a bunch with leg locks last night, and Mark was going over something he's working on that's super cool and dangerous for me with long legs. I can't do it, right? So there's things like that that happen. So we are inside our opponent's closed guard. I want to be cradling my opponent's hips. If I allow this to happen, he's got too much room, nothing to stop me from being pulled forward, right? Now he can break me down, he can control what I'm doing. If my knees are too close together, I have no base side to side. Now I'm posting, doing this stuff. So it's dependent on my opponent's size. I want to split down the middle. If I were to look, I want to be able to see half of my knee. Then I'm going to arch my back, putting as much pressure as I can on his heels, and at the same time, my hip and pelvis are going to go up. This should, unless somebody has crazy long legs, put some pressure onto their legs, making it more difficult for them to have a closed guard, and meaning there's already a connection there. So anything he does, one, I'm going to feel immediately, and two, he can't wind up at all, right? I'm always sticking that back out like a cat. I'm keeping my head up. I'm looking off into the horizon. One arm floats, one arm breaks. If we were in an altercation here or an MMA fight, I can lean over and punch Derek in the face. He can't touch my face, right? All I have to do is keep an arm out here, I'm good. If I wanted to, pretty easy for me to land strikes on him, right? That's why we don't want to be on the bottom during fights. It's not 1993 where nobody knows what the closed guard is. You're not going to win very many fights from here. Of course people do, but in my opinion, if you are on the bottom, you are losing a fight 100% of the time. So we got an arm floating, I'm never pushing. Now I'm going to break Derek's guard. I'm going to slide back until I get a 4-finger grip on his thigh. It's going to be different for different people. Nothing wrong with sticking your thumb out or spreading your hands. The issue I have with it is it's not any better, it doesn't help, and it gives the opportunity for some spaz to grab your finger and break it. I don't know why we would open that up. I come in. Last night, people were struggling with this. The first thing I do is flare my elbow away from my body. If Derek's squeezing super tight, I'm just going to lean to do that, right? I want to see some separation between my ribs and my elbow. From here, then, I'm going to take the angle that Derek's leg's at, turn it down, and I'm going to go that same direction. If I push hard enough down, I'll probably eventually get him to break, right? But his feet are behind me locked like this. I want to pull them out exactly like they are, not push down where he's got a strong grip. Just like when we're breaking arm locks, different, grips, we want to fight it at the weakest point we possibly can. So I pull back, I flare that out. Now I'm going to follow that angle down towards the mat. I'm going to lean my weight slightly into it. Right? You guys have all done this already in the last week or two. The thing we're going to do that's slightly different now is if I stop here in this break and I keep this floating arm, if Derek's any good at all, which he is, he's going to bring this knee in front of me. Now there's a knee between me and Derek's chest. If Derek was an open guard guy, I would have traded closed guard for open guard. It's a neutral trade. Of course, technically speaking, breaking open the guard is better. It's only better if I'm making progress though, right? So what I want to do is immediately when I feel that guard break, I want to come forward. I want to check Derek's hip and I want to block the space so that his knee can't come in front. So I'm floating here, wedge out, break. See how my elbow instantly connects there? I'm going to follow this down, keeping my hand here. My head's going to get low. This is going to depend on your body. Some of you guys are going to be able to come inside here like this. This is preferable. For me, this hurts my shoulder. I'm old, I have a lot of arthritis. I just stay right here. I'm blocking the hip, and I'm kind of flaring that out if I can. I don't like to be here as much, and what I don't want to do is give Derek an ability to lift me up here. Now, of course, this is size dependent, right? I don't have flexible legs, I have super strong legs. If Mark does this to me, I'm gonna be able to lift him here, right? He's enough lighter than me, he's almost 100 pounds lighter than me. So for different people, you're gonna have to vary. This is as far as we're gonna go, but what I'm gonna talk about next, so your mind's thinking about it, is if you're smaller, you've gotta pass the leg right away. If you're bigger, you can hang out here for a minute, right? I can sit here on Derek. He's not gonna be able to really move me, right? He's pretty stuck. If someone smaller does it to him, he's gonna be able to lift him up there. So always be conscious of what's going on there. So all we wanna do for this drill to start, get our good posture, floating hand, come back, wedge, break, and your opponent's gonna try to recompose some type of open guard. We get to here. Now your opponent's gonna move around. Pretty stuck, right? Other side. Anybody have any questions on this? Pretty basic stuff, simple, not easy, right? There's a lot of small things there. Anybody have any questions? Everybody's good? All right, let's partner up and drill it. So let's talk about what our pass and our knee slice looks like. So we've already gone through this. We break open the guard, we get down. My head would be low. I'm gonna sit up so I can talk. I wanna force his leg down, and I have to get my knee over his leg while leaving my instep behind. If my instep comes out, he's gonna get the half guard. Half guard is halfway past the guard, or for him, halfway to recomposing the guard. That's how I choose to look at it. I would much rather get all the way past the guard. I don't really want to be in half guard. So from here, I'm blocking his hip. You see my knees kind of wedged under there. So I've got to transfer my weight over. For some of you, this will look different. Again, with my lack of mobility and being a bigger guy, what I find works is to lean my weight all the way forward. Imagine I was pinning, and boom, I come back a little bit and I slice over. Some of you that are smaller will be much faster with it. Make sure you keep this hip pinned. I don't want to allow him to turn on his side. I want to keep him flat. Our 4 contact points are always the hips and the shoulders. If I can keep all that down, 0 chance the guy's escaping, right? When he gets 2 of those off the ground is when he's starting to execute some type of escape. So from here, I lean forward, I pass it. You feel like you can go anywhere even with me elevated like this, right? He's pretty stuck. If I were to go all the way past though, he just takes a half guard, right? You see that? He just go either way over my leg, he's got a single leg. But as long as this instep is here, there's nothing he can do. Now, because I'm partway past, I want to be chest to chest. Whenever there's an opening, even if I'm past one leg, chest to chest is where I want to be. I'm going to start giving him pressure immediately. For me, I'm going to pass this arm over his neck. I want to pin this far shoulder. This is where all of his escapes come from, is if he's able to lift this shoulder up. So I'm going to come here. If I can get this underhook, man, that's awesome, but maybe I can't. My weight's here into my elbow and now onto my chest. You feel like you can move me at all? Pretty stuck, right? From here, I'm going to shift my hips. Now again, for me, that's about all I've got. So I've got to fully turn my hip down, and I take a big back step here. Now, Derek could, and we'll talk about this in a minute, he could try to bridge here. My leg is preventing him from bridging. If I were to come here with a small back step, go ahead. Now he's on top, right? So I keep this instep in. I've got to replace this knee that's blocking the hip. If I just try to go to side control from here, he's going to bring this leg in and recompose guard. We're right back where we started, right? So if we're here, I can come in here with this hand, which is what I normally do, and then I'm just going to thread the needle. I'm going to put my hand where my knee is. This is going to come underneath me, and I'm going to flatten Derek out. There's no opportunity for that. You could also bring this knee in at the same time and come here. I don't like that as much because there's that split second where he has the opportunity to try to recompose. But again, I'm old and slow, not fast. Those of you that are faster, it's probably a solid technique for you. We're here, wedge, boom, we're open. I lean forward, pass, come over, back step. Coach Derek tries to come up. It's no good, right? Other option I have. If a guy tries to come up like that, I'm mounting him, right? He's exposing himself to the mount by trying to turn there. The second he gets to the apex and starts coming down, he can't move again until his weight hits the ground. So I'm just gonna kick right over. If he doesn't do that, which he should not, I replace this arm. He's got the underhook. I do not care here in this position, right? It's not an advantage for him. If he tried to go, I would mount. And once I flatten him out, his arm's basically stuck there. One time at speed. It would go that fast. There's not a lot of time for him to react. Does anyone have any questions on this technique, backstep or otherwise? Everybody's good. All right, let's run it. You can work the mount in if you want.